How do you see the future, Caio, for this tournament? I mean, FIFA tried to do this in 2000, and it happened once, but it didn't happen twice. The next one collapsed, and the big losers of this, of course, were Palmeiras, who weren't allowed in the one in 2000 when they should have been allowed in 2000, and then lost the right to go to the next one because the next one didn't happen. I'm sure that's a grievance that you Palmeiras fans have until today. But so the last time around, the second tournament didn't happen. What do you think will happen with the future of this expanded 32-team Club World Cup?
I believe it will happen in 2029. And we don't know what Infantino wants to do with his puppets, you know. And we know that he loves expanding tournaments. I don't think he will expand this one. But I think given the TV rating success that has happened across the globe and the attendance, obviously they were not like all game is sold out, but it was, I think, a good attendance for the first tournament. Like we had like 35K in some games. When you have the European giants, 60, 70,000 people. And I know that in some games there were like empty seats, loads of empty seats. Just an example, like for the second game against Palmeiras against Al Ahly, I had the ticket from the upper tier, and then FIFA gave me a better ticket because it was the lower tier. So on TV it would show like a more filled stadium. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, they played in NFL stadiums, which are like 70, 80,000 people, the capacity, and football across the globe is not played in stadiums that have 70, 80,000 people. We have some exceptions: Barcelona, Manchester United, Real Madrid, some. But I think that the attendance was okay for the first event, and I think they will keep going with this tournament for next edition because it's a different scenario politically in football. And Infantino has done a great job with this one politically and also, I think, sport-wise, because most participants enjoyed being part of the game.
Caio, do you think that FIFA, Infantino, have done a good job in terms of convincing people, particularly here in England? But, you know, you could go across many other countries in Europe. There are many countries in Europe that take it seriously, but nevertheless, for the skeptics, do you think they've done a good job of convincing us? So, to a certain extent, this tournament has been saved by, you know, the football. Actually, it's ultimately what goes on the pitch that attracts.
First by the fans, by the South American fans first.
Yeah, in the sense that it was saved in that way. Yeah, I was thinking
because the fans, you need this. It's vital for the TV images. You need people telling you that this is important, that this matters, and from the start, you got that message from the South American fans, and then I think it was saved by that Monday, where Al Hilal beat City and Fluminense beat Inter Milan. If not, we would have had 7 Europeans in the last 8. And that I don't think that would have worked very well.
I think it was saved from the very first matches because there was curiosity. As you know, people have told us on the World Football Phone-In that, you know, they were so looking forward to seeing Boca Juniors play because, you know, we don't see that. We've heard of the team, we've heard of the club, we've heard of the history, we've heard of the fascination.
A mate of mine over here, after they couldn't beat Auckland, a mate of mine who said Boca should stop being a football club and start being an agency that rents out supporters for anyone who needs them. Cruel. Yeah, wasn't me. It was a mate.
There are a few teams in the Premier League that could rent out their supporters as well because they're not doing very well. But, you know, Boca started off on the right foot. You know, you thought, they're not bad, even though they'd had, you know, pretty much a poor run up to the tournament. But the point I was trying to make, though, is that to a certain extent, FIFA got lucky, because it could have been a load of rubbish games, particularly with the European teams coming off the back of a long season. PSG and Inter, for example, were both right up to the final of the Champions League, etc. And yet, despite it not being a poor tournament on the field, even though Chelsea are in the final, okay, English team, Chelsea may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you'd have thought by now that we'd have been sort of like backing the English team. We'd be keen, and I don't doubt there will be a lot of people watching it, but I don't think it will be the gamut of football support will be tuning in to watch. Whereas whichever team we're playing in the Champions League final, whether it's your home, rivals or otherwise, we would make an appointment to see it. I don't think it's quite got there yet. So have they done enough, was my question.
I got a message from a Brazilian friend of mine who lives in London. He's a BBC journo. And this is Tuesday, he sent this. He said, I feel sorry for you trying to explain in Brazil how little people care about the Mundial over here.
Is it Fernando Duarte?
No.
I think UK it's a one-off in this kind of tournament, because like I have my Brazilian background, I have also a journalistic background, and I still enjoy opening all the websites to see how different media outlets are covering the tournament. And I could see during the tournament that Gazzetta dello Sport in Italy had a good coverage of it. Marca, because of Real Madrid, was covering it well. In South America as well. But when I opened the websites from the UK, it was very little coverage. And so I think UK is an exception of this, because obviously you have the best league in the world. That's all you care about. You have the strongest and the richest club. So you care about the Premier League, and I completely get that. But I try to have this less British view of things.
Quite right.
And enjoy not because my team will win it, but just because my team will have the chance to face Champions League clubs. So answering your question, I think FIFA didn't convince UK skeptics about this tournament, but I think other countries engaged with the tournament, other European countries. I felt from the beginning that Bayern was quite engaged with the tournament, not because they beat Auckland 10-0, but because I thought that they played with a strong team in most games. And at the beginning, I thought that they were kind of the favorites because I didn't know how PSG would take the tournament. So I thought that Bayern was taking it more seriously. Mm-hmm. But then when PSG started to play their stronger team, I knew it would be very difficult to not have the Parisians as champions. So I think that's it. Like UK, it's going to be skeptic. I don't know how long for, but the other countries engaged more. The other European countries engaged more with the tournament, more than I expected.